Hello, hello, and welcome back, or welcome. We're getting close to Christmas. We are getting there. Christmas is around the corner. We're doing little, Bookmas Christmas videos. And today we're talking about the books that I wish I read in 2021. Which is a little bit sad, really, because, these are the books that I thought to myself, oh, I'd love to read them. And then I didn't. I did not. And to be honest, I'm not actually planning on reading all of these in 2022. We can, cross our fingers and hope and pray. But some of them I will, some of them I will not. So it's a little bit of a sad video. No, I'm joking, it's not that sad. It is a little bit sad because I haven't read them all. They are sad books that have been sat on my shelves, just sad about their existence because I haven't read them. I will at some point, maybe not next year for some of them, but in each one we'll maybe touch on if I'm going to read it next year or not. We'll see. Now the sun does keep going like in and out and behind the clouds, so for that, apologies, the lighting's going to be a bit mayhem. But see, the sun's on my face. Sun, go back behind the cloud, please. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to get a little bit patchy. But, just roll with it. This is the UK weather, particularly the Welsh weather. You can't predict it. So, yeah. So, I have a pile of books that I've kind of gone through my shelves and thought, oh, I wanted to read that this year and I haven't got round to it. So we're just kind of going to go through them. At first I thought, oh, I haven't got very many. And then I just kept kind of adding to it. So yeah, I'll kind of maybe give you reasons as to why I'm sad that I haven't read them. Wow, this light is just ace. I'm like, dark over here, light over here. Oh, wow. Thank you, sun. Thank you so much. Right. I don't know if I can trust this. Anyway, we're just going to roll with the light situation. First book is Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. Now, I've bought a lot, or not necessarily bought a lot of, I have a lot of, some of them were gifted, have a lot of Agatha Christie special edition novels. I feel like I'm like leaning this way so that I'm not in the sun. Let's fix that. I don't even know if that's not really better, but oh well. So, Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. Now, I've got a lot of hers, as you say, but I don't necessarily want to read that many of them this year. They are the kind of books that I will not be reading outside the house. They will be read in the house only in the interests of protecting them. It's gone dark again now. This is going to be a problem for the whole video. I apologise. And this is one that I actually wanted to read this year. Now, this is coming out as a film adaptation in February. So I'm actually going to read this in January. So this one is going to get read next year. But I'm kind of sad that I, haven't read it yet. Next is Wool by Hugh Howey. Now, I've seen good things about this, that it's kind of like a dystopian vibe. If you like kind of the Divergent series and stuff, then you'd like this series. I haven't bought any others of the book in the series yet because I want to read the first one. It's quite big, which is probably one of the main reasons that I haven't picked it up, because I've been trying to reach my target, which I'm going to reach, for the year. I haven't wanted to pick up really big books because I don't want to kind of slow myself down, and there's a lot of the time where I've been trying to catch up with myself. So yeah, I haven't read that one and I would really like to, so I'm not making any promises, but hopefully I'll read this one next year. I do like a bit of dystopian vibes, so fingers crossed I can pick that one up next year when my goal is lower, so that I don't, have to worry so much, just drop that on the floor, about the fact that it's so chunky. Next, now this one is kind of representing all the books that I haven't read from this author. Lisa Jewell, Then She Was Gone. This is one of the many books from Lisa Jewell that I haven't got around to reading this year. Watching You and Invisible Girl I can see there. I haven't read those. I want to. I haven't got around to it. So it's just hasn't been enough time this year to read all of the books that I wanted to read, to be quite honest. So that one, kind of Lisa Jewell umbrella. Wish I'd read more of her this year. So fingers crossed I can read a couple more next year. I think I have read one or two this year. I read The Third Wife, definitely. I don't know if I read any others. I can't see. I'm looking at my bookshelves. I can't see any others. But yeah, potentially, next year we'll read a few more of her books. Now, next I have Half a World Away by Gale. This one I just feel like I've kind of seen people say that it's quite an emotional one for them, and one that they quite enjoy. It hits them in the feels. So I don't know why I want to read it if it's going to be emotional, but this is just one that I wanted to pick up this year and I haven't. I mean, it's not very big. We're talking like 330 or 340 pages, so it's not kind of a massive, what is the sun doing? Oh my god. It's fine, I'll just like, yeah, I'll just film over here, no worries, thanks. Yeah, so I just thought that that one kind of seems like a really, really cute like read, so I didn't pick it up this year. I just didn't kind of like, on my bookshelves, it just doesn't really attract me to it. Like, it doesn't draw me to it. I've got other books where I'm like, wow, yeah, I can't wait to read that. Whereas this one, like, I just kind of want to read it at some point. Like, I don't have a like, oh, I want to read that now, which is probably the reason why I haven't picked that one up. Now, more dystopian vibes. This year, and I think last year as well, I really wanted to reread the Divergent series by Veronica Roth. I've just never got round to it. Like, I think the thought of like picking up the first book is fine, but then the fact that like I know I want to read like all the books in quite quick succession, I can't even say that word, it's made me not pick it up. So yeah, I really, really would like to read these next year, so I'm gonna kind of make a point of picking them up. Yeah, that's all I can kind of say about that. Okay. Next we have On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. Now this is one that I actually predicted that I'm going to give 5 stars to in my 5 stars prediction video. So I'm really looking forward to reading it. I think the reason I haven't picked it up is because I was told that it's really good by audiobook as well as like reading it, because it's got a lot of rapping in it and that's really good on the audiobook. So I want to listen to the audiobook kind of while reading it, and I just haven't had the time to kind of do both of those things. So that's why I haven't picked that up. But I've had this on my shelves an awful long time, though I'm very excited to read it. But I just want to do the audiobook at the same time. Like, I want to do it properly. I want the proper, you know, like, experience. Next, we have Frankenstein by Jeannette Winston. This is another one that I predicted I'd give 5 stars to in my 5 stars prediction video. I was going to read this in October, and I just didn't get around to it. Like, the month went by so quick. I did plan to read like a lot of books that month, and I did read a lot, but I didn't read every single one that I planned or kind of predicted or put down that I wanted to read. So yeah, that's a shame, but I think it sounds like so good. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking that up next year. Now, a book that's been on my shelves a long old time, and I planned to pick it up actually also in the month of October and didn't. Loki, Where Mischief Lies. I feel like this has been on my shelf for so long, and I just don't know why I haven't picked it up. Like, the writing's quite big, it probably won't take me that long. I guess it's because I don't really know like the vibe it's going to bring to the table. So I really need to just pick it up and read it. It's like with the Twisted Tale books, like I never kind of like have a drive to pick them up. When I pick them up, I really enjoy them. So yeah, I just need to pick it up. I have 3 more books here that I wish I'd read this year. One is a Holly Bourne book, How Do You Like Me Now? How Do You Like Me Now? What advert is that from? How Do You Like Me Now? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I feel like I wish I'd read a bit more Holly Bourne this year, kind of like her newer ones. I've also got, well, I did read The Yearbook. I've got Pretending as well. I only just picked that up semi-recently though, so I wouldn't have expected myself to read that yet. But this one I've had maybe like half the year and I haven't picked it up. I just think it's kind of, I don't love Holly Bourne's books that much. Some of them I think are amazing, and some of them I'm like, oh, this is rubbish. So I have a bit of a love-hate with them. And it's just hard to predict what one of her books is going to be. So I think that's probably why I haven't picked it up. But I kind of want to, because I feel like it's been on my shelves long enough that I should just, you know, go for it. Now, Holly Martin. One Holly Martin book that I really wish that I'd read this year. It's massive, to be fair. There's 2 books in here. This is the Complete Happiness series. So it's got, oh, this is a signed one. So it's got The Little Village of Happiness and then The Gift of Happiness, which I think is a Christmas book. So I wish I had read this year. I feel like you kind of need to read it in the run-up to Christmas, potentially, so you can read one after the other and read the Christmas one at Christmas. But I suppose you could probably like just close the book and, you know, once you read one story and put it away. But I do kind of wish that I picked up this one this year. I don't know if I'd count it as 1 book or 2 books. It is 2 books, but like this specific edition is published as like one big beautiful book. So I wish I'd picked that up. But, you know, I just can't fit all of these books into the year. Like, there's literally not enough days. Now, the last book I did start this year, and if you follow me on Instagram, you're going to know what this is going to be. I never finished it, and I still intend to, but I'll be honest, I haven't read very much of it. I read a lot of this from January to March, and then since then I haven't even looked at it. Problem being is I'm listening to it as an audiobook whilst reading it. Literally, like, it's being read to me while I read it, because I kind of wanted to savour it properly, but that's very time consuming, like very time consuming. And like one chapter is like one whole hour. And I don't like to stop halfway through a chapter. So, and with this book you kind of have to, because it's so big. It is A Promised Land by Barack Obama. Now, in my reading in the evenings, with reading and listening to the audiobook at the same time, I reached page 86. That's so bad. It's a 700-page book, and I am going to read it. Like, I don't know whether I need to start it again, but I've already done like 4 or 5 hours worth, which is how long it takes me to read an entire, like, normal book. Yeah. I mean, like, that's what I've read, and this is what I've still got to read. But I want to listen to it on audiobook, so, oh, just think to my chin. Oh my god. So yeah, it's not ideal. I just want to finish it. I will finish it. Like, I will finish this book. I will. But this year, when I'm trying to read so many, is not necessarily, when this is going to take me like 30, 35 hours, not necessarily the best book to read, because I can read like 5 books in that time, maybe 6. Yeah, like 6 books in the time it would take me to read this. So, yeah, maybe even more than 6. So it just hasn't been a good year for me to pick this up. But I am going to finish it. Like, next year, 100%, I'm going to finish it. Like, I need to maybe set like might take me the whole year, but I need to set myself like a target of how many pages to read, like, in a month or something like that. So yeah, those are the books that I kind of am sad that I didn't get around to reading this year. But, you know, it's fine. I can read some of them next year. My target's going to be lower, but we'll somehow fit them in. But yeah, it's kind of just didn't have time for most of them. Just too time consuming, or like I wasn't kind of motivated to like pick them from my shelves when I was picking a book. Which, you know, considering the amount of books I have, there's a lot. You can't always be motivated to pick up every book because there's just far too many of them. So if you have read any of these books and you thoroughly recommend them, let me know so that I can pick them up. Because, you know, it needs some motivation, obviously, to pick up these books that are now in a pile on the floor. So that's the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. Happy reading, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!